Hi, welcome. This is Allison from Allison B Coaching. This is my first live stream for the new year. I did not do one in January. Lots was going on. And now we're February. I'm trying to stay committed to doing one live stream a month. I'm working on that, people. I'm working on that. Well, today I am going to talk to you about a template that I came up with to help you be more successful. The template is S.O.A.R, S-O-A-R, and I'm going to be explaining it a little bit more. As I have not been on live stream for a while, I have to confess I'm still a little bit rusty with finding things. So if you see me looking around, I'm looking around at all these little prompts on the side trying to figure out what I'm doing here. But here is my little banners, and here's the welcome to my channel banner. And here is my name banner. There you go. So I'm just warming up my fingers trying to figure out how to get these things on the screen. But let me not get bogged down in all the technology, which is not my strong suit, as anybody who's been on my channel before would quickly recognize. So I'm trying to get everything organized here. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about S.O.A.R. Let's talk about that template. At this point in time, you started a year with all these great goals and you're saying to yourself, okay, what can I do to be more successful? I see there's a comment here. Hey, Sabrina, so glad that you were able to make it. I'm so glad. I pray that there's something on here that'll be beneficial for you, and I'm trusting that there will be. Hang in there. So the S.O.A.R method, what is it? Okay, it's an acronym, S-O-A-R. Okay, and we're going to talk about how that acronym leads us to greater success. The first part of the acronym is when we ask ourselves about why we're not successful, some people say, I just can't get myself together to move towards that goal. So what do you need to do? You need to sort things out, because, when your brain is operating on so many things, it can't focus. The mind works in a funny way. It needs to settle. It needs some resolution. If you have too many things floating out there, there's not enough resolution, you can't be present. And if you can't be present, you can't move forward. So the first thing you want to do is you want to sort and organize your thoughts. I like to sort and organize my thoughts into themes or categories. Now, depending on the stage of life and the season that you're in, you're routinely thinking about certain things. Not everybody's the same. So your categories are not going to be the same as your neighbor. You're going to probably feel overwhelmed because those thoughts are battling with each other for supremacy in your brain. They all want their plot of land. They all want their real estate in your brain, and they want to push each other out. So things are flitting in and out of your mind, and you half doing one thing, half doing another thing, not finishing anything. Here's the thing. Don't let those thoughts compete anymore. Just organize them. Give each thought its own space. Give it its own time slot. You could schedule thoughts. You could say, I'm going to think about that later. I'm going to do it or think about doing it after work, or I'll handle that mentally on my lunch break. Give your thoughts their own space, their own time slot, and then you'll give them their own focused attention. When your brain knows that it'll have time to problem solve or process a particular issue, believe it or not, your brain will relax. It will settle down. It's going to allow you to engage more fully in whatever the present activity is. And that's what you need, because if you're building a business or if you're engaging with your children, so you need to be present at the task that's in front of you, that's ahead of you. So make sure you sort your thoughts. Actually, I also recommend sometimes that you have something like this. Let me see if I bring this on the screen. A daily to-do list. See if you could have a daily to-do list, something like this that could help you. Hopefully you guys are seeing it. It's a to-do list. Hey, Sabrina, let me know. Did you see that? The to-do list? Oh, and time blocking. Yes. It's a template that you could find on Canva. But if you need it, I could also email it to you. So there are so many great to-do lists on there. I mean, this one's a little bit colorful and it's really nice, but there are other ones too. I know you use Canva. Go on Canva, look through their to-do list, see which one, would satisfy your need. But I definitely, definitely recommend something like this that will help you just sort out your thoughts and know when you could slot them and time block them. And so they're not competing with each other. Okay, let's see. How do I undo that? There you go. Oh, I'm getting the hang of this. The next thing that you want to do is you want to, next thing, open up. Now, what do I mean by opening up? No, we're not opening up to our hairdresser or our bartender unless your problem involves something with your hair or drinks. Anyway, you're opening up to somebody who could help you with the thing that you're struggling with. I think a lot of times when we're engaged in business, we get prideful. We don't want to know people that we're struggling. We don't want people to know that we don't have it all dialed in. Some people are very prideful. They kind of want to present this totally, what's the word? This totally put together kind of persona. And the reality is we're all learning, we're all growing. You don't know what you don't know. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to open up and share with someone, hey, listen, I'm having this particular struggle. Again, who you share that with has to be somebody who is appropriate to be able to give you some, if not a solution, at least some feedback or an idea about this particular thing. I think about how I struggle with technology sometimes. I mean, lots of people think I do really well with technology, but I I fake it until I make it. I try my best. And there are times I will spend hours just trying to figure out something that I'm trying to do. And if it's about the computer and technology, well, my husband's a little bit of a technology geek. Actually, he's a lot of a technology geek, and he's my go-to guy. And there are times when I'm like, I don't want to bother him on his job, but I just can't figure out how to make this document do what it needs to do, or how to get the computer to go here. And I know it's supposed to be able to do that. So what I'll do is I'll cave in and I'll call him up, and he'll answer in 2 minutes, less than a minute, 30 seconds. He's got the answer. One of his answers that really frustrates me is sometimes when he'll say, well, did you turn off the computer and just turn it back on again? Ugh. That irks me because he's always right. It'll be something where it's like, okay, I turned off the computer and I turned it on again, and it rebooted, and whatever the problem was, it's gone away. Yeah, he's a smart guy that way. But ask the question, open up, let people know that you're struggling. And, people are generous. In general, if they know what they're doing, they'll help you. I think about people that we admire. You look at them and you say, oh, they didn't struggle. Yeah, they struggled. You just don't know about it. Think about Moses. He struggled. He had his father-in-law Jethro give him some good advice. He had his brother and his Aaron and Hur. He had them hold his hands up when he got tired. That's in Exodus chapter 17, verses 12 through 14. I looked it up. So he got help. Think about that big corporation, Johnson & Johnson. I bet you have something in your house from the Johnson & Johnson corporation, foundation and corporation. Robert Wood Johnson. He didn't just start off and do this big thing on his own. He had his brothers help, James Wood Johnson and Edward Mead Johnson. They helped him launch Johnson & Johnson. Okay, that's why you got those Q-tips from their organization right now that you're using. So yeah, Sabrina, your toothpaste, right? So they didn't do it on their own. We admire how big they've become, but they started out where they had some areas of struggle and they sought some help. So don't be too big to get some help yourself. It's important. So open up when you're struggling and get the help that you need. All right. The A for S.O.A.R, we have the S and the O is for analyze. I want you to analyze all your brilliant ideas. You probably have a lot. Each one of your ideas may seem so exciting and it's sure it's going to work, and it's exciting and they're shiny new ideas. but you don't want to be chasing after a lot of shiny ideas, okay? Um, every idea that you have needs to survive the process of evaluation and scrutiny. If you try to implement every idea, you're going to end up chasing shiny objects and success is going to evade you. I've met too many people like that, brilliant people, but they can't reach success because they're not taking the time to analyze their plans, their resources, the ideas that they have, the inventions they have. They're not seeking, wisdom from people who have maybe walked the road ahead of them. Now, when we look at analysis, it shouldn't be kind of a rush kind of thing. Yeah, it looks good, go do it. But it shouldn't also drag out indefinitely. You don't want to get caught up in the paralysis of analysis. You want to engage in something like a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Sit down with a piece of paper and look at your idea. I know it's your baby and you don't want to criticize it or critique it, and it looks good, it sounds good, it's going to be the moneymaker, but sit down and just subject it to the process of evaluation or scrutiny, such as the SWOT analysis. If you're not sure how to do one, there are tons of YouTube videos that talks about a SWOT analysis, SWOT. So once it goes through that process and it survives it, then you want to take the next step. Once you conduct a proper analysis, you'll be more aware of the potential risks and rewards, and it'll allow you to make a more informed decision. And then you can commit to whatever your decision. So it's a good thing to do. Now, the last part is, I always forget this. There you go, analyze. Okay, so my last one is this. Very good, R, for release. And for that, I have something I want to do. I hope it works out. Oh, bummers, it might not work out. Let's see. Oh, I know how to do this. Remember, I'm still trying to get familiar with how to do this. So here we go, release. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. There you go. Oh, this is the first time I'm doing this. I didn't know to do it. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Okay, that was the first time me using that, so it didn't work out perfectly, but I will have to keep practicing and see how that works. But the last one is release, and I'm going to leave you with this one by saying, release yourself to move forward by shedding limiting thoughts, those thoughts that tell you you're not capable. Letting go of the fear of failure or of other people's opinions can be difficult. When I started my own businesses over 30 years ago, I was worried. I was worried that people would see me as delusional for believing that I could generate wealth through my own paycheck, on my own, without a paycheck from an agency. I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs, and all my family, they had steady jobs and regular paychecks. So my fear was understandable. All right. However, with the support of my husband, who did come from an entrepreneurial family, I began to see myself as a business owner, and I began to release my own fears. So if you know you're struggling with just those fearful thoughts or limiting the beliefs, find people who could support you authentically, who could support you with good wisdom, who's not going to just tell you, go, do whatever you want to do, but they're also going to just allow you to challenge some. They're going to put some challenges, but not some negative challenges in your way. They're going to, ask meaningful questions and from a real good place. That's an important thing. And then, trust them and trust yourself. Release those inhibitions. One of my favorite sayings is, failure is rarely fatal. It is simply a first attempt in learning. Okay, FAIL, first attempt in learning. So that is all I have to share with you today. And I want to say that as you are approaching success one day at a time, one try at a time, one attempt at a time, I want you to just go and soar. This is Allison Vanilla, your professional life strategist. Let me see if I can get back to my banners here. And I want to release this release, and the banners underneath there. I want to encourage you and invite you to dream big, set goals, and take action. And here is my last screen. Where is it? Thank you so much for being part of my audience for this live stream. I hope you found value in it. If you did, please take a moment to like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever platform you listen to the live stream on. I pray that each of you finish your year strong in mind, body, spirit, and your finances. And I look forward to presenting more in 2025.